guys, welcome to VEDA 2016, day 28. We only have 2 days left, and I'm thinking about taking a break after this whole, VEDA thing, trying to get my head together. I haven't been sleeping a lot lately, and that's going to kind of bring me into the topic of the day. I get asked a lot what it is I do for a living. It's also a pretty common question on dates, but I don't date, with good reason. I'd like to answer those questions with examples of my work. Now, I used to work paycheck to paycheck. I've done jobs that I'm not particularly proud of. I'm glad I went through the pain and the torture of those jobs, so I know where I want to be in my life. This will also give me the drive and determination to do what I want to do in my life. My first job was Chuck E. Cheese, where I worked as a cashier, which means I also maintained the salad bar and did the whole merchandise thing. I even wore the Chuck E. Cheese costume quite a few times. But one day in my youth, knowing everything, I decided it would be a great idea to quit and have the entire workforce around me join me. That was probably one of the dumbest ideas I've ever had. I worked at Kmart for 9 months after that, which led me down a pretty bad path that I don't really want to talk about. I really don't want to get negative, so let's talk about other jobs. I was the manager of a Cold Stone creamery. It lasted about a month, and this was the first time that I started to despise people. I was managing 16 to 20-year-olds, and if you're not too familiar, those are not really the most mature people to work around. So needless to say, it didn't last long, and I moved on to bigger and better things. Now, I worked at several restaurants. I'd typically move up and rank quickly. I ended up managing a few restaurants and, whatnot. I even used to work at Hooters. And every time, I mention that, somebody's like, what? But look, guys, somebody has to cook the food there. You can't look that hot cooking, prepping, and dishwashing. But it was the best that I had gotten paid from cooking. One day, my heart was just set on DJing, and I'm like, man, I gotta quit this Hooters job, and I quit, That was probably another dumb mistake I made in my life. But after becoming manager of a few other restaurants, I just decided I didn't want to work in food service any longer. I worked at an automotive repair shop. All through high school, I was very into cars, and I was the person that could always fix your car or soup it up. Another job I had, I worked for Sears Portrait Studio, and I absolutely hated it. Like, I had to call these people that I had never met or even talked to. Like, they had apparently done business with Sears before, but I didn't know that. I didn't know these people. So they're asking me to call, basically cold call these people, which is not really a true definition. And it was kind of like doing a sales pitch to get them in, for more portraits. Now, I'm not a salesman. I hate trying to take advantage of people. I just can't take advantage of people. At one point, I was selling vacuum cleaners and air purifiers to make a little bit of money because, Eden was just born and I had to find something legit that, was okay. And while I sold every single unit that I demoed, it wasn't like I was taking advantage of these people with their money because they were way overpriced. And, I didn't set the prices. But regardless, I wanted to pursue other routes. It was just not for me. So let's get into what I'm doing now. First and foremost, I'm a father, and you've seen that if you've watched my channel for any length amount of time. Eden's my daughter, and I love her very dearly. Unfortunately, my ex has made it so that I cannot see her every single day of my life. I do see her quite a bit throughout the week and every other weekend, though. So I work as a network technician at a local college where I troubleshoot computer problems both locally and on the network. I deal with everything from simple troubleshooting, like a printer being out and software or drivers or something like that, to full-fledged hardware deconstruction and reconstruction. I would straight up take your box and rebuild it. Our firewalls are pretty decent at blocking all virus threats and stuff like that, so it's not really something typically I have to worry about. I'm also a radio personality for Surge Media LLC in Wallace, North Carolina. At the moment, you can hear me on 100.5 FM in Wallace, 710 AM through the whole eastern side of North Carolina, which is this tower right here, and 104.5 FM in New Bern, Morehead City, Aurora, and that whole outer banks of North Carolina. In the fall, we're going to change. We're going to have some Jacksonville coverage and other things I can't really get into right now, but stay tuned. Great things are happening here. Freelance coding is another one of my jobs. For instance, one of my clients is a franchising pachinko parlor. I have set up, managed, and hand-coded their entire POS system, including timesheets and multiple drawers with single accounts. I also work with online models to develop their websites and profiles and whatnot for whatever they're doing. That's another one of those subjects I'd just rather not talk about. Since 2006, I have owned and operated a photography business. Within that business, I also do video production. I shoot weddings, events, models, you know, basically whatever I'm hired for. With the video production, I also do 3D modeling, you know, After Effects and all that, you know, special effects stuff. With the photography business, I'm also doing graphic design. But again, I have some contracts I can't really get into right now. I am a disc jockey, or DJ. And I'm not talking about one who brings their laptop or MP3 player and presses a few buttons and, hey, I'm a DJ. No, I quite literally mean I take vinyl discs and jock them. In 2004, I was in dire need of a job because of recent things that have happened. And a friend's stepfather had a mobile DJ business, you know, for like weddings and special events and whatnot. I started working for him, and at the time we were using CDs with, you know, professional CD players so they wouldn't skip and whatnot, and you had pitch control, and that was my door to, you know, go home and try to find out everything I wanted to know about, you know, actually DJing. So in 2006, I made the transition from events and weddings and stuff to club DJs by DJing a teen night at a local venue. I also did things such as college night at said place and multiple other bars and clubs. I also worked freelance for quite a few other people. In 2011, me and baby mama weren't really working out with different things, so kind of quit DJing to show her that I was very committed to the relationship, as well as the relationship with my newborn daughter. But you know, a few years later, I got to go back, did the whole DJ competing thing, lost a few times, didn't matter. In 2015, after, you know, taking a break from DJing once again, I was invited to DJ for the Wilmington Rap Battle League, which I am currently the resident DJ of. This also led to other opportunities being available, and I've taken those, and man, it has been a godsend. The hip-hop community in Wilmington is absolutely amazing, and I am so glad I could be a part of it. As far as radio, I've done quite a few mix shows for online radio stations as well as terrestrial stations, such as Surge Radio or Z1075 in Wilmington, North Carolina. I also have a SoundCloud and a YouTube channel specifically for my DJ career. And in case you weren't aware, I also make YouTube videos for a living, so that's really all I'm going to get into as far as what I do for a living. There's a few more things that I just, you know, I'd rather not say. I want to thank you for watching today's episode of VEDA 2016, day 28. We see you right back here for 29, and then after that, 30, and I'm taking a fucking break. See you out of here. I'm just, fuck this thing.